Hunting Ava Bravo starts out with a decent premise, but quickly proves that it isn't going anywhere and has nothing of value to provide. The power struggle on repeat where none of the characters' motivations make any sense and nothing all that interesting happens. It fails to elicit any feelings of horror or thrill and doesn't provide enough action to qualify as an action movie. The writing is the worst aspect of the film, and the soundtrack and visuals aren't much better. Casting two solid lead actors was the only smart decision this film made. Mark Blucas and Kate Del Castillo both give a solid performance despite their characters being rather one-dimensional and underexplained. Lucas plays a charming and confident psychopath who always seems to have things under control, even when he's got a gun to his head. Castillo plays the haunted survivor, Ava Bravo, in a powerful and emotional manner. After talking about the acting, the movie just goes downhill. The soundtrack and writing tie for the next worst aspect, but we'll start with the writing. The story starts off with a strong concept, sets up in record time, and gets off to the races immediately. It even shows off how competent Ava Bravo is within the first 20 minutes, and makes this into a real challenge between her and Buddy. Then it fails to go anywhere. Ava and Buddy play a game of cat and mouse in the snowy mountains, with Buddy slowly gaining the upper hand due to Ava suffering from DFPR syndrome, dumb for plot reasons, and the game doesn't have any stakes because Buddy doesn't seem intent on killing anyone and Ava refuses to do anything that might end the story prematurely. Neither of them is well characterized, so Buddy's motives go completely unexplained, and the story doesn't end until several amazing coincidences happen in a row. The ending feels really silly and cheap, as if they ran out of time while writing it. The soundtrack is next up, but is barely worth mentioning. It consists entirely of tension-building tracks that are so similar you would almost think that the same song is being played on repeat. It's mostly boring, with just a slight tinge of annoyance. Last but definitely least is the visuals. They just don't do anything visually with the film. Sets are limited to a barren cabin in the woods and the woods beside it. The trees and snow are nice to look at for a few minutes, but the outdoor scenery quickly loses its appeal. A lot of time is spent on hiking montages with shaky camera work, and there's poor lighting and dark scenes. There isn't a lot of action, and the few fights they do have are chopped up and sped up. They look bad and aren't engaging. Hunting Ava Bravo just isn't a good film. It has a good premise and some decent actors, but they fail to do anything meaningful with the story, create an interesting visual journey, or score it well. Do not recommend this film. 3 out of 10.